Hey all, Nonal here. The latest episode of the Mr. Puzzles Mr. Weapons team-up arc recently dropped, so let's discuss some of the new information we learned. Firstly, I was incorrect in my last video when I suggested that Mr. Puzzles' friendship with Mr. Weapons may not be genuine, and that he'd merely view him as a means to an end. However, we see the two beginning to warm up to each other over the course of events in a very unlikely friendship. It seems that Mr. Puzzles' relationship with both Toomp and Weapons will serve as his first genuine friendship since Leggy that will enable him to move past his unwillingness to let go of his attachment to Leggy, who we see that he's unable to move on from due to him keeping around Leggy 2.0, as well as his anxiousness when talking to Meggy again, and him calling her his friend. Mr. Puzzles will go through a character growth to eventually realise that he values Weapons and Toomp as genuine friends, rather than just as pawns in his latest plan, and it's clear we are starting to see this development occur based on Puzzles' uncertain reaction to Mr. Weapons calling him pal at the end of the episode. Perhaps Mr. Puzzles will later betray Weapons and Toomp in some way, hoping to secure favour of Meggy or enable himself to escape prison and avoid the Death Cube, but he will realise that it wasn't worth losing the connection he had just built with the two of them, and so he will do something to regain their trust. Furthermore, Mr. Weapons talks about how guys like himself and Puzzles aren't supposed to have a family, so perhaps this line could be hinting at a sort of found family theme for this arc, which lines up with how Mr. Puzzles is desperate for friends, Mr. Weapons wants a family as his assassin work lost its meaning to him, and Toomp. But speaking about the Death Cube, I correctly predicted that Mr. Puzzles had been placed on death row, which explains why Meggy was so shocked to see his sentencing.
The Death Cube.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I was ready. Well, actually, no. Nonal was right. Everyone put in the comments. Good job, Nonal. You guessed it. He's being executed.
And this is very likely to remain an important plot point during this arc, acting as a constant ticking clock which drives the actions of the trio of villains and Meggy. But Puzzles hasn't simply been put on death row, as the story has been building a bit of intrigue surrounding his form of execution, the Death Cube, a new form of execution created by Mr. Monitor that has had this silhouette shown, which is the only hint we have towards what this form of execution actually involves. It reminds me of one of those romp enemies from Mario, but it doesn't appear to actually be a romp. Whether this silhouette is an original prop is yet to be seen, but in my opinion it feels like the Death Cube will probably be more of a significant plot point than you may have been expecting, perhaps even serving as the final obstacle the trio have to overcome during this arc. Furthermore, due to this arc taking place from the perspective of Mr. Puzzles and co, making them the protagonists, this technically means Mr. Monitor could be the main antagonist of this arc, or at least the main antagonistic force. Despite only appearing sparingly during this arc so far, it's Mr. Monitor's interaction with Mr. Puzzles at the start of PrisonVision that motivates Puzzles to attempt to escape prison, and it is Mr. Monitor who has invented the Death Cube and is pushing for Mr. Puzzles' execution by it, which is currently the main conflict in this arc. Also, a small detail I'm sure no one noticed in PrisonVision is this prop of a list of rules created by Mr. Monitor, which may suggest there will be more scenes with this prop as a background element, which then suggests that we may expect to see more of Mr. Monitor as well. I'm glad we may be getting some substantial screen time with Mr. Monitor soon. Moving on, I'd like to clear up some potential confusion people may have had. Toomp is not evil, and they are clearly not setting up him to eventually betray Mr. Puzzles or something like that. Toomp acting ominous at certain points was clearly just for typical unfunny SMG4 humour, and I highly doubt that the gear that he put inside Weapons that finally fixed him will ever be brought up again, in case anyone was suspicious of that part. In fact, the reason he puts a gear inside Mr. Weapons is because he was given the idea by Mr. Puzzles earlier during the episode. The last point I'd like to talk about is speculating as to why Mr. Puzzles ordered Weapons and Toomp to head to the showgrounds. This almost certainly has to be linked to Meggy asking Puzzles to meet her there for a consultation, but Puzzles also seemingly mentions to Weapons that his goal is to assassinate the SMG4 crew, which is how Mr. Weapons interprets what Mr. Puzzles says. So what's going on here? What reason would he have to want to assassinate Meggy or the rest of the SMG4 crew, since it's Meggy who may be able to get him out of the punishment legally? But then again, his plan is to ultimately escape prison, which is very illegal. So honestly, I'm not really too sure what these seem like two conflicting things. The Meggy subplot and the weapon subplot don't really seem like they can coexist. Like, he can't legally get out of the death penalty, and then, well, I guess he could, his plan might be to legally get himself out of the death penalty so he never has to worry about that again, but then he'll escape prison with Mr. Weapons, so obviously he'll be a wanted man, but he won't be executed. I guess that might be what I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure where the next episode is going to go from here. But are we going to get a fight with Mr. Weapons and Toomp versus the SMG4 crew? I really don't know. We'll have to wait and see for next episode. See you.
Okay, remember the thing where, like, there was discussions about this arc ending in a movie, possibly?
Well, yeah, it's confirmed.
Well, yeah, they confirmed it.
And normally, arcs recently have been ending have been going on for 4 episodes only, as of late, since the Meme Factory, and that's been happening since Meme Factory, Watthy, and the Karen arc, kind of.
There's really not. They're not going to be consistent on that. It's not.
Yeah, they're not being
consistent.
Don't look
into it like that.
Yeah, they are completely out of whack with this one. So it's
Yeah.
just we may as well not even. You know what? We may as well not even bother to discuss about the structure of SMG4 arcs at this point in terms of amount of episodes.
Yeah, there's no point.
Not even bother. It's just whatever the fuck they want to make it, as long as or whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
so-
whatever the fuck is convenient for them.
So
Yes,
here's
whatever. Yeah.
here's my thoughts. So I'm actually going to transform this now. I'm going to make transformative content now. So basically, this ending line and this ending shot is the contrast with the previous episode's ending line, where he's like, like friends in quotation marks. He's like clearly only using him as a means to an end. But here, this is a lot more genuine when he says "pal." So I was wrong thinking that their friendship wouldn't really be genuine, because it seems like, no, actually, it is going to be genuine, because we've seen genuine interactions.
Yeah.
Also, I like how Toomp just escapes prison just that easily.
Yeah,
He just walks out.
He walks out.
I know. Also,
That means that Toomp is in prison by his own will.
Toomp just decided to stay there. It's like, may as well have a visit. May as well, like, let's see what it's like. It's like a holiday for him. It's like a break, because he's much in a prison. So it's like, may as well take a break from all the genocides I've committed.
Also, I called it that was going to be death row. I literally called that. I was completely correct.
Honestly, now looking back, I have no idea why I thought it was his sentencing would say he's escaped. Oh no.
Also, so this arc is like the Meme Factory. It's from the perspective of Mr. Puzzles, so he's the protagonist.
Yeah.
Which means Mr. Monitor is actually the antagonist so far, because he's the inciting incident in last episode was Mr. Monitor, destroying Leggy, and now he's the one pushing the death penalty. So he's actually the antagonist, and I like that.
Yeah,
he's actually getting what.
Yeah, he's actually pretty antagonistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, because he keeps showing up, he's the Death Cube is it's his thing, so I have to assume he's going to be and he was in the opening scene last episode, so he's the main antagonist, really.
Kind of.
He's also very sleepy as well, as we've seen. He's been.
I guess not really main antagonist, more like a driving force.
Yeah.
But anyway, so obviously, Mr. Puzzles needs to go visit Meggy, but obviously he sends Weapons and Toomp to the showgrounds. So
because he's still in the jail. Yeah.
I'm not too sure why he sent them there. It can't be they've gone to represent him. So is he trying to enact revenge? I'm not sure. I have to wait and see. Maybe if I rewatched it, I'd understand. But obviously Meggy plays a role, and I'm not too sure where that's going to go either. I'm assuming, because obviously we know it's going to end with a movie, so I'm not really sure what, I'm still not really sure where the plot is moving. I don't know if Mr. Monitor is going to be the ultimate antagonist. I don't know if this team will be they will have some sort of plan that has to be stopped. I don't know.